Good morning. Welcome to the Bald Explorer catch-up. This is the Sunday video that I do a behind the scenes, a rough, ready and raw version of what I get up to when I'm not out filming all my lovely walking about Sussex or Quest for England sort of stuff. Excuse the washing going on. I've been doing the bath mats in the kitchen. I'm in the bathroom. I've been washing the bath mats in the kitchen in the washing machine, and I've been hanging. Oh, well, you know what I mean. It's too early, and I need a cup of coffee to get myself going. Another busy week. Things have been done, and lots to do to squeeze in today. Whew. So I don't have a very big garden. This is the front of my house. Just there's the road. And it's a mess. I took out the hedge the other day. Well, actually about 6 weeks ago, and it's dying, and I haven't been able to take it down to the dump. So, anyway, I've cleared the space, or clearing the space, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant my hollyhocks in one corner, and all my poppies, which I've had in these pots for about the same sort of time, and let them grow. I'm not a great gardener, but I believe that nature has managed to survive on its own, so why can't the plants if I plant them a bit? So that's the plan. Let's see if it works. Right, I've prepared the ground. I've basically, there was a membrane underneath the stones, and I pulled that back and cut it off where I want the hollyhocks to go, and I've just basically with a trowel lifted up the soil and made it sort of loose, and then I've used a bit of the compost that was in from the bag that I'd used in the pots, and I've mixed a little bit with it. Now my friend Mr. Suggett tells me that that's the wrong compost, because I think it's got more acid in than it should have. It's for the wrong sort of plants, but I'm not going to let that worry me. I haven't put that much in. I just thought a little bit of nutrient of some description will do the job, and we'll see what happens basically. So it shouldn't take long now to get the plants in. If they survive, they survive. If they don't, they don't. I'll water them and keep them, you know, moist. And then that'll be that. So, right, finish my coffee and get on with it, I suppose. Right, time to wash the old handy honks. Pleased to say that I've got that done now. It's a bit, you know, basic, but it's okay. We'll see what happens, I guess. I've also planted, I had in a box, and I forget who gave it to me or where I got it from. It's not heather, I keep saying that. I kept thinking it was heather. It's not heather, it's a purple flower, and I can't remember. Do you know, I was planting it and I looked at it and I said, oh, I know what it is. It's a herb, so it's not heather, and it's purple, and I've got to blow my nose now. I think there's a bit of hay fever in the air. What is the name of the sodding plant? I remembered it, and I looked at it and I said, of course it's not heather, it's something else. Lavender, that's what it is, it's lavender. Oh God, why did they go out of my head? Lavender. Yes, I planted the lavender, but I think you've got that by now. Oh. Right, there's no rest for the wicked. However, I need to bring you up to speed with a few bits and pieces that's been happening in the week. So, number one is in one of the live shows I did, I happened to show, stupidly, that and they're not here, are they? That's typical. That I have a pair of slippers that have fallen to bits and have got a bit of gaffer tape on them. Okay, so somebody felt sorry for me, Mr. Jeff Kellison, and he bought me a very lovely pair of new slippers, and I have to say they're very posh and they're very lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you. And they're very, very comfortable. So I really appreciate those. I'll put them back on in a minute. Now, as you know, some of my patrons support me. Well, all my patrons support me. That's why they're patrons. That's obviously how it works. And you might wonder, well, where does all that money go? You know, is it lavish dinners at the Ritz? Well, not at the moment, obviously. Do I go out and have money on the golf, spend the money on the golf course, that sort of thing? No, of course not. So I have been purchasing some stuff. Do you remember I made a video about turning my car into a camper car so that I could go further afield, stay overnight, and you know, not for like weeks on end or days even, but just occasionally, just for one night, and make as many videos as possible on one of my quests for England type thing. Well, I've been buying some bits and pieces to make that a little bit more comfortable. So as soon as Boris said, yes, you can now travel wherever you like, and if you can go to work if you need to, and you can't do it at home, I figured, right, now's the time to get that so I can tour a bit further afield. So on that basis, I bought some things. So the first thing is this, which is a inflatable mattress. So I thought an inflatable mattress would be quite handy in the car because I can put it down, sleep on the top of it, and it will deflate and go up into a small area. Now, I did see a lovely chap called George who showed me his car, and he has a fold-out mattress. And the only thing about the fold-out mattress was, even so, it did take quite a bit of space, and space with all my gear and stuff would be a bit limited. So I figured that, and that was about a tenner, I think, or 12 quid or something like that. Of course, you need something to blow it up, so I've got a pump. Now, I've not opened this pump. I've no idea. It's all sellotaped up, isn't it? But it's one of these pumps that I don't want to be sitting there. That would be stupid. So I've got those two items. Now, what am I going to keep myself warm with? Well, I've got blankets, but I figured a nice sleeping bag would be good. I don't know what that pump was. That was about 12 quid or something. And I haven't opened this, so I'm going to open this. So this was one of Amazon's specials. 150 envelope. I don't know what that means. I haven't got that many friends to write letters to. Sleeping bag, session 2, filling 150G. I wonder if G is the same as TOG, as in thingies. But let me just see if I can open it up for you. I'm trying to do this on the camera here. So hopefully this, I know that if I take it out, I'm never going to get it back in again. But hopefully this and a blanket, if necessary, will keep me warm when I go away. Now, the problem is, because I got very excited, didn't I? I got very excited. And then I later discovered you can't actually stay overnight anywhere. They don't want people going to visit their canal boats and at the marina and actually stay on the boat. They don't want people to go into their caravans and stay overnight in caravans. They don't want people going places like up into the Lake District and sleeping in their camper vans. So they're not going to really want me sleeping in my car in a remote place in the middle of nowhere, completely isolated and unlikely to pass anything on to anybody. But I suppose if I break down and the AA have to come out or that sort of thing. So although I purchased all these things, I've got to wait until I can use them. Hey ho, we'll get there in the end. We will. That's interesting. I've just been trying to do a bit of research on Off the Beaten Track, the book that I've been following on. And as you may know, last week I'd gone on to chapter 1 and was following in the footsteps of Arthur Stanley Cook. Chapter 2, which I thought would be the next thing, and I discover, of course, chapter 2, he's going from Stenning to Bunkton and then to Chanctonbury. Well, he goes to the Whiston estate and he clambers up Bunkton, and it's pretty much where I've been before. So, and I've been to Bunkton, and I recently went round Whiston and did the walks along Chantonbury, and I recently took exactly the same path to Stenning. I don't want to keep repeating places that I've already been because it's sort of pointless. So I'll do some more reading on that and decide. I've got to make the decision by the end of the day because tomorrow I should be out filming again. Just moved over to my desk because there was I thought it'd be quite interesting to read a couple of emails out to you because I get lots of correspondence, as you can imagine. And this one is from a lady called Lucy, only came in today. Lots of interesting things. She says, "Hello Richard, my name's Lucy. My husband and I watched most of your Bald Explorer videos in the last few years and enjoyed them immensely. We did become patrons, but unfortunately her husband passed away in March, not from the dreaded COVID, but something else. But even so, she was unfortunately unable to give him a proper send-off. Now she's shielding at 61, and it stops her from the daily walks, which is the same. So she says, I can say that watching the Sussex explorations has helped me a lot, especially as her husband last year showed her the South Downs and they walked the Seven Sisters, which is very nice. So that's good. That's nice that people are enjoying the videos. But she goes on to say, I wanted to draw your attention to another Arthur Stanley Cook. Now, the book that I've just been reading, that's by Arthur Stanley Cook, but this one is aged 26, who was killed in action at Gavrelle in France. I'm sure that's not the right pronunciation, in 1917 during the Second World War. So when he wrote the book in 1910-11. The First World War had not started. His son, we think, then goes into, assuming it must have been his son, goes into battle and is killed. However, I read somewhere else that Arthur Stanley Cook hadn't written many books, and I've got one on my shelf somewhere which was called Willow Farm, and he talks about Willow Farm and stuff. Now I wonder if it is the same one or whether it is his son, whether it's his son. But that is that's very interesting. So that's my phone going off. Thank you for that. The other email I wanted to just briefly mention was one from a chap called Paul, who simply says, Richard, you might have explained this elsewhere, but have you changed your filming technique, mainly from the selfie to a fixed camera locations? I would have thought it must take you a lot longer, if nothing else. It's true. For the Search of Sussex, in Search of Sussex, I thought I just wanted to give it a different style to the everyday stuff, just a bit more quality, and yes, it takes a hell of a lot more time, and yes, I'm quite knackered by the end of the day, having gone around with tripod and camera and filming all these different cutaways and what have you, and then coming back to edit, and then doing the 2 live shows, the readings that I do, and the Vobes show that I do in the evening. So yeah, quite knackering. Right, well, that's all for this edition of the Sunday catch-up. Behind the scenes, a little bit raw, a little bit basic, a little bit easier for me to do. Hope you've enjoyed it, hope it's been interesting, and I will be out again with my camera. Not quite sure where, not quite sure when, hopefully to have some more in search of Sussex, and also the just the general walks that I do anyway, so there'll be a mixture in the week. But thank you very much. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, put a like if you're watching on Facebook, and why not leave a comment? And you can of course help me out by becoming a patron. Sling a few pennies my way, helps me put petrol in the car and all the usual sort of stuff, and I will get back on it first thing in the morning. Till then, take care and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.